Hey guys, what's going on? It's Chris and Aaron here from Nickel House Gaming. We're here to take a look at Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. We're just going to kind of jump in and give you our first initial thoughts of the game.
Yeah, so far, to start it off, really love this game. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So what are we going to end up doing? Just kind of jump into side up?
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of jump into a small side op here, just kind of give you something to look at. We've both put in about, I would say, roughly 15 hours, somewhere in that. So I'm going to kind of ignore a little bit of the menu here and that kind of stuff like that. Here's a little, we're doing before each mission you get to kind of pick your loadout, if you will. You can equip all your buddies and vehicles and characters and
you can set it up for whatever
kind of
you might need. There's a bunch of missions that I was at that actually asked to bring a missile launcher. It was recommended. There might be tanks or whatever you might actually end up encountering. So I don't usually bring one, but I developed a rock launcher, brought it in with me, and it was great. It was helpful for it. So you kind of plan accordingly. I really do enjoy that aspect of it, that there's a little bit of pre-planning. You know what you're getting yourself into, and you can build around your playstyle.
One thing I figured out fast, things cost money.
Yeah, so that's also part of it, is you pick out your loadout, certain armor, certain guns, everything costs. Some cost a lot more. It's not bad, but at the same point, you can, mid-mission, you can call for a supply drop for more ammo or whatever. When that happens, you're pretty much rebuying your equipment. If you already have pistol rounds, you kind of get reimbursed for what you already have. But at the same point, you might end up wasting a bunch of money by just calling supply drops if you're asking for expensive things. Assault rifle that cost a bunch, missile launcher ammo, anything like that.
Yeah.
So the buddy system as well, I love. We're just kind of getting into it right now. Just bringing the horse here, I recently unlocked the dog. He was fantastic for when you're walking around and sneaking around. Your dog can kind of smell and spot things, and if you get into trouble, you can send the dog to attack someone to keep them distracted. Right now, Chris is playing as he brought in a horse. You can hide on the side of him, so if you're at a bit of a distance, no one will be able to see you. As well as he's very convenient to rip across off-road terrain at the same point.
Just give you a little bit of a gallop here.
Yeah, so it makes it much easier than walking around. So right now you're just going to kind of scout out this area, I guess, and then jump in on trying to save this prisoner, I guess.
So, yeah, right now I'm hunting the prisoner. Got to try and find them. A big thing with this game is the binocular setup. You got to try and find as many of the outlying soldiers as you can before you kind of take on the base, because once you have them targeted, they're always targeted, so you'll always know where they are.
Which is great when you're in the thick of it and you're trying to sneak around just to try to find someone. Another thing that you'll notice is with his binoculars, he actually has abilities next to all the people. A big part of this game is your mother base. The mother base that you get, you can take things in, bring them in, and then you upgrade your mother base by having soldiers that are good at something. It levels it up, and it will help you out in the game. So a big thing is the research and development, which if you take someone who's good at research and development, you can throw them in, and it'll level up your research and development skill, which gives you the ability to research and develop better weapons, better binoculars, better armor, better everything. But you can also get better intel team who will be able to, from satellites, scout enemies, or give you information on an area and just keep you more informed before missions and during. So right now, Chris is kind of just going in, trying to kill a few people. One thing that you will notice is you have a suppressor in this game, which is great and for being sneaky. However, your suppressor doesn't last forever. In the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the gun and something that says SUP and a little gauge. That gauge will go down every bullet you shoot. So the more you shoot, the more your suppressor degrades, and over time, you won't be able to hide your shots. And then you might have to call in a supply drop for a new weapon with a new suppressor in it.
Yeah, so, like, as you're going along here, this is a perfect example. You get a reaction time if you get found out. And you have that time limit to kind of clean up your act here. And then the beautiful thing is they've kind of taken away from... You can go into a full-on brawl here with the enemy here, and you can kind of do things your own way. You can be sneaky, which is obviously the main method, but I figured I'd just give you guys something to watch. So it's just kind of like, now that my silencer's broken, everything is loud, so you can see and you can hear the gun, I'm sure. It doesn't always pay out to be loud, though. You gotta be... It's pretty much everything that you do kind of based around being sneaky or just timing everything really well.
Yeah, so I've come across a lot of times when I'm playing where I decided I'm going to be really sneaky during this, and all of a sudden something bad happens and I get caught. It doesn't turn out well for me, but when that happens, you have the option to shoot your way out. It's harder. Well, it's arguably harder to just shoot your way out of it, but I like that the option's there, and then there's some kind of way for me to recoup what I have already done. Or I can just restart and do a checkpoint if I'm dedicated to be sneaky.
That's a big one. The restarting checkpoint is very handy for the instances that you just need to you need a bailout, if you will. And it's sometimes just much easier to just restart than it is to try and salvage what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it all depends on your playstyle, and that's, again, a beautiful thing about this game.
Yeah, it's open for pretty much everyone to try and play. One thing I do really like is, when I was talking about the mother base before, if you knock someone out with a trank dart or you choke them out, they have a thing called the Fulton system in this game, where you can pretty much attach a balloon onto a guy and then take him to your base. For the most part, when you take someone to your base, you'll be able to recruit them into your team and throw them into your research and development, your intel, your combat team, whatever you might need. And that's how you actually recruit people. This also works for weapon armament, as well as that's how you get vehicles for your base that you can take in. It's generally just how you build your base, is by attaching balloons onto everybody and taking them out and bringing them back to your base.
So you can also interrogate people in this game. They'll tell you where your main objective is, and you can also ask them where other guards are posted and that kind of thing like that, which is really handy. And then you can knock them out or kill them after you've kind of grabbed onto them.
As well as they'll tell you specifically sometimes if there's a skilled soldier there, which is convenient for bringing them back to your home base, because not everyone's good at everything. So you might come across people who have a ranking of E or D and you don't really want them at your base, but you can interrogate someone and they will tell you, hey, we have a really skilled combat person. You find them, they might be a B or an A or something, and really good at what they're doing. It's very convenient. It's always worth doing if you can. And yeah, I don't like the whole system of the free world, the mother base, getting people to bring in with you, as well as having your entire base set up that you can start upgrading your new weapons, your new armor. It's fantastic. It's a loop that I'm gonna get hooked in for a while.
It's a very, very well put together system, I'd have to admit.
At the same point, there's a few other things that I liked and disliked at the same point. Since it is an open world, you have multiple ways to go through each mission. At the same point, there's a lot of traveling that you have to do throughout. I had a few issues with it takes a long time to get through some of the areas, through all these windy roads, and you have to kind of go around a lot, opposed to being able to go through, and your horse might take a little while. There's no fast travel system. There is, however, a plane or a helicopter that you can call in. But I find the helicopter takes a while.
Yeah,
because you have to call him in,
slow.
you have to wait for him to show up, because, again, that's something that you can upgrade so that he comes in quicker. But he takes you up to your
Aerial command.
Your aerial command center, as well as then from there, then you have to get him to travel you back. So there's a lot of wait time in between, and I would wish that there was just a way to get in your helicopter and take you to a new point. I'd be fine with waiting between that, but it really sucks having to wait to get picked up, to go to your aerial command center, to end up going back down to somewhere that might have even been close enough that taking your horse might have been quicker than waiting that whole time.
Yeah. So the terrain is one thing that I do have a problem with in this game, mostly because they offer you the chance to rock climb and this kind of thing like that if you find the positions. But that was one thing that misled me in the beginning, is I thought that was going to come into play a little bit more, but there really is almost no mountain travel at all.
Yeah, there's only few areas that I found, and it's for specific purposes that they added.
And it can really hinder your movement throughout Afghanistan in this game or as you continue on. So it's it can be a really big problem, because as you're trying to get across to a target that's 2,000-3,000 meters away, you're in the way and you have to climb over a mountain or something like that, and you can't do it. You have to follow the roads, you have to go along, and it just ends up, it takes a lot of time. And that's something I thought that maybe could have been done a little better, maybe handled a little differently. Try and give you a little bit more breathing space with getting through the terrain and getting to your objectives.
Yeah, definitely helped a lot more with clearing the area.
So that's pretty much our first look at Metal Gear Solid. I'm pretty sure I'm going to continue to play this for quite some time. I don't know about you, but
yeah, I love it. I'm going to sink a lot more hours into it anywhere I really can for the next little week or two.
Yeah, so that's the initial thoughts, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you thought this was good, and we'll catch you next time, okay?
All right, thanks.